Good morning, students. This is your subject physical education, class 12th, chapter number 4, lecture 1. The name of the chapter is Physical Education and Sports for CWSN Children with Special Needs, Divyang. The introduction of the chapter. Nowadays, every differently abled individual has the right to participate in games and sports. So, as we all know, that each and every individual in the world have this right to participate in different competition. In the same way, differently abled individual also have this right to participate in different games and sports as they are differently abled. So we need to modify the games and sports, but now the games or the sports for them are officially organized. For example, Paralympics, Deaflympics, Special Olympic Bharat, and a lot more. There are a lot more games and sports which are organized for them in a official way. These games and sports are just modified forms of the normally existing sports in order to meet the needs of individuals with certain disability, and thus they are usually referred to as adapted sports. Now we know that a differently abled individual would have some different abilities from us. For that reason, we need to modify or make some changes in the rules and regulation of the games and sports. So, for example, there will be different rules and regulation in basketball for them. Same way it goes as swimming, cricket, football, and many other games in which they participate. So, what we actually do is we just change the rules and regulation of the existing sports so that the abled individual can participate in those games and sports according to their own needs and capabilities. And these sports are known as adapted sports because these sports are organized for differently abled individual. Physical education and sports provide ample opportunities to differently abled person to lead a fruitful and energetic life. Now it is very important for us to understand that without any physical activity, it would be a life which is very sedentary, which is very monotonous, and which is very boring. So for that reason, physical education and sports actually provide a lot of opportunities to differently abled persons so that they can also have a fruitful and an energetic life. The first topic from the chapter is 4.1, concept of disability and disorder. We are going to start with the meaning of disability. Now you can see that disability is an impairment that may be cognitive, developmental, intellectual, mental, or physical. So impairment means something which is damaged or weakened. So here we can see that the functioning of our body, it might be in relation to the physical functioning, it might be in relation to our mental stability. If there is some weakening or damaged to all these aspects or all these fields, then it is known to be as a disability. It affects everyday activities of the individual to a considerable amount. It may be present in an individual from birth or occur during one's lifestyle. So it is important for you to understand that when we talk about disability, it means it is affecting the everyday's activity of an individual to a certain amount where it can be judged or it can be seen. So you can see that there is some difference between your own activity and the activity of an individual who is having any kind of a disability. Now this disabilities can be from birth, it might be with them from their birth only, or it might also occur in one's lifetime. It might be because of some accident, or it might be because of some trauma or some chronic illness. The third is, it can be said that it is essentially a medical condition which does not permit an individual to perform any activity or movement in a normal way. So we can say that it is a kind of medical condition of an individual which does not permit them to do their normal day to day routine work in a proper or in a normal way. So it is a adverse medical condition of an individual which stops them from doing their normal routine work in a proper way. Now the definition of disability. So disability is the reduction of functional ability to lead daily fruitful life. So from the meaning you can see that the definition is disability is something because of which there will be an reduction of the functional ability, the how you function in your day to day life, or how to lead a fruitful and a good positive life. There will be a kind of reduction in your own function. It might be because of your mental stability, it might be because of your physical fitness, it might be cognitive, intellectual, it can be any one of them, because of which there will be this reduction in the functional ability of an individual to have a good life. So now we are going to do the meaning of disorder. Disorder is usually used for mental disabilities. So any kind of hindrance or any kind of obstacle or any kind of problem which is in the mental ability of an individual, that means we are talking about the disorders. So disorder create hindrance in an individual's performance and reduce his efficiency. So because of these disorders, there is a kind of hindrance, or you can say there is these obstacles which actually stops an individual to perform well. And we are not only talking about the big task of our lives, but yes, we are also talking about the routine or the daily work which an individual has to do. So there is this reduction in the efficiency of doing every work which comes to their way, and the performance of an individual is reduced because of disorders. Now disorders seems to be ordinary. They seems to be ordinary, like it might be at a very lower stage. They seem to be very ordinary and normal, but usually they grow a lot or spread in a manner that an individual is not able to focus, to concentrate, or to perform well in his or her day to day life. Now, the definition: disorder can be defined as blip in usual functioning of a person. So, blip means an unexpected, minor, and typically temporary deviation from a normal or a general trend. That means that whatever we are going to perform, or whatever an individual actually performs normally, generally in their day to day life, there is a kind of deviation from that. That individual is not able to perform normally, or the usual functioning of a person is deviated or hindered while doing any of the activity, and it is all because of the disorder. Now we are going to do the topic 4.2, which is types of disability, their causes and nature, cognitive disability, intellectual disability, and physical disability. Now, disabilities occur to individual in many ways and with varied severity. Now, when we talk about the ways, we can see here that a disability can be by birth. It might be because of the accidents, it might be because of some chronic illness, it might be because of some trauma or shock which they might have got. So, disability depends on the different causes, and it might be different from one another, and it might also be differentiated according to the severity of a disorder. So, there is this severity and how it actually occurred, that will be telling you the type of disability it is. Now, the types of disability. There is cognitive disability, intellectual disability, and physical disability. So the first one is cognitive disability. The meaning of cognitive disability. It is a neurological disorder that creates hindrance or obstruction for an individual to store, process, and produce information. So, in the first line, you can see the word is given, which is neurological disorder. A neurological disorder is a disorder which is related to your nervous system. Now, this kind of a disorder actually creates a stoppage or delay or hindrance, obstruction, you can say any of these things, for an individual to store, process, and produce information. For example, if today I'll tell you that you have to go home and tell your parents that there will be a sports competition. Now, this is the information which I gave you. Now, if an individual who is having cognitive disability, first of all, he or she would not be able to store what I actually said. Now, there will be a problem in storing the information, then processing it. That individual will not be able to work according to the information which is given to them. And when they will be asked about this information or about anything which is told to them, they will not be able to produce it in a proper way. Or, one more example for it, for your better understanding, that for example, if today we ask you that you need to play basketball and these are the rules and regulations, now you know you need to play a basketball. Now, for individuals, those who have cognitive disability, first of all, they will not understand the rules and regulations, because it will be a big problem for them in storing those rules and regulations in their head and then producing the act accordingly. The next is, this disability can affect an individual's ability or capability to read, commute, speak, and write. So, because of this disability, an individual is not able, or you can say there is an individual is going to have problems in reading, computing, speaking, and writing something. Because when we talk about reading, when we talk about speaking or writing, we need to understand and store that language in our head. If we talk Hindi, if we are talking in English, we need to learn these languages. Only then we will be able to speak or write or read anything. And for computing also, we need to know mathematics. We need to learn, we need to store the information which tells you about summing different numbers or subtracting or multiplying or dividing. So, because of cognitive disability, an individual is not able to store the language or is not able to produce or process accordingly. That is why an individual is going to have problems in the certain things like reading, computing, speaking, or writing. Now, there are these three symptoms of cognitive disability. The first one is memory disorder. An individual who has auditory problems means hearing problems, or difficulty in remembering something that he or she has heard, said, or saw some time ago. So, what actually happen is, some people have this memory disorder. If they have heard something, they said something, or they might have seen something around them, but after some time they are going to forget all those things. They will not they will not remember what they have actually said or heard or saw a time ago. So this is a problem, or this can be a symptom of cognitive disability. Second one is your hyperactivity. An individual with cognitive disability may not have attention for a long period of time. He or she find it difficult to stay at one place. As a matter of fact, he or she usually loses concentration frequently. So it is one of the symptom of cognitive disability that an individual who is suffering from this kind of a disability would not be able to pay attention for a longer period of time. He or she will be having hyperactivity, and because of that reason it will be very difficult for them to stay at one place and focus at one particular thing. And because of this reason also, sometime you can say that that storage, that processing of different information would be difficult. The third one is dyslexia. Now you might have heard dyslexia from the movie called Tare Zameen Par. From that also you can learn about it. You might have heard about it actually. So an individual with cognitive disability may exhibit dyslexia. It means he or she may have difficulty in writing, reading, or speaking. So an individual who is having dyslexia, that individual have these certain problems, as we were already talking about it when we were talking about the meaning of cognitive disability. The next one is your intellectual disability. Now it is characterized by these two things. The first one is intellectual functioning, the second one is adaptive behavior. So if there is any limitation in intellectual functioning, that means here we are talking about the reasoning, learning, or the problem solving. Or if there is any limitation in adaptive behavior, which covers a range of everyday social and practical skill, then we are going to talk about intellectual disability. So when we talk about the limitations in intellectual functioning, that means an individual is not able to provide logics, an individual is not able to learn the things properly, or we can say that an individual will have problems in solving his or her situations in day to day life. The next one is the limitations in adaptive behavior. That means an individual is not able to adapt the behavior from the society, or an individual have this problem in modifying or adjusting his or her behavior according to the society. So this is the limitation in adaptive behavior. Now this disability is related to the individual's thought process. Now it involves individual thought process, how an individual actually thinks, how he communicates, how is his or her learning process, what do they understand by solving their problems, and how they judge different situations. So all these things are negatively affected by because of this disability. An individual is not able to learn things, the problem solving is bad, he or she is not able to judge thing whether something is right or wrong. The person will not be able to tell that he or she, because there is this learning process problem, then they will not be able to communicate with other people properly. Now it also includes psychiatric disability, which is related to individual social disabilities. Now when you talk about social disability, so the first thing which comes to our mind is the behavior, because in the society we behave to different people. So the behavior of an individual, how that individual show his or her emotions, or how an individual thinks about the society or for the society, will be affected if an individual is having intellectual disability. Now the difference between intellectual and cognitive disability is very simple, that in cognitive there is a problem in storing and processing the information, but in intellectual disability what happen is people do know each and everything, they know the informations, but they are not able to use that information in a proper way. So the main difference is in cognitive disability an individual is not able to store the information, and because an individual is not able to store it, that is why he is not able to produce that information also. But in intellectual disability an individual stores the information which he or she gets, but is not able to use that information in a proper way. The third one is your physical disability. It is a limitation on an individual's physical functioning, mobility, dexterity, or stamina. So, an individual who is suffering from any physical disability or any kind of physical disability, the individual have problem in physical functions. All his physical function might be any kind of skill or technique which one has to perform. Mobility means movement from one place to another. If you want to stand and go to some place, it will be a difficult task for an individual who is physically disabled. Dexterity means any skill which is performed by hands, that is dexterity. So if an individual is having any physical disability which is related to his or her hands, it might be parallelism, it might be amputation of any of the hand, it might be because of some accident or something. So all these things will be limited because of the physical disability. Other impairments such as respiratory disorder, if any individual having problem in respiration, for example if it is asthma, then again the individual stamina or endurance will be very less and he or she will not be able to work for longer period of time, which is again a limitation in physical activity. Blindness, in this, if there is some problem in the vision of the individual, then again that individual will not be able to see things properly, and which make it again a very difficult task for an individual to do his daily life things. Epilepsy, now epilepsy is a neurological disorder marked by sudden recurrent episodes of sensory disturbance or loss of consciousness and sleep disorders. Now each of these things actually limit our day to day functioning of the body. That is why these are also included in physical disabilities. The next is your motor deficiency. Now motor deficiency is again related to the spinal cord, in which the limbs, means the arms or the legs, does not work in a proper way. It might be because there is this paralysis to these parts of the body. The second is the sensory impairment, in which an individual have problem in listening or the visions is not clear. So because our senses does not work in a proper way, that is why an individual is going to have physical problems, or physical functioning will not be in a proper way. So in easy terms we can say that a physical disability is one that affects an person's mobility, means the movements are actually made difficult to be done if an individual is having physical disability. So after the discussion and understandings of the different types of disabilities, we are going to understand how or what are the actually causes of disability. The first cause is the genetic cause. Now some disabilities are known to be inherited, such as spinal muscular atrophy and muscular dystrophy. So we'll understand these two terms first. The spinal muscular atrophy is a genetic disorder characterized by weakness and wasting in muscles used for movement. So it is a genetic disorder in which the genes are disordered, and because of which there is this weakening and wasting of the muscle while they are used for movement. It is caused by a loss of specialized nerve cells called motor neurons that control muscle movement. And the next one is your muscular dystrophy, and it is again a hereditary condition marked by progressive weakening and wasting of the muscle. So these two, and there are several other problems which you might get because of heredity, or it might be a genetic problem. Now abnormalities in genes and genetic inheritance causes intellectual disability in children. If there is some abnormality or if there is some disorder in their genes or their genetic problems are there, then again a child can suffer from intellectual disability or a disorder. Now sometimes chronic diseases or illness which were occurred to their parents, if it is in a chronic manner, or if it is in a very severe or high level, then A child may also have genetic disorders because of this. Again, if an individual is exposed to x-rays for a lot of time, then again an individual can have genetic disorders, and which will cause disability. The point 2 is poverty. Now each and every one of us know what poverty is, and we know the living standards or the lifestyle of people, those who are poor. So the poverty is one of the major cause of disability. Generally it is seen that poor persons are the most vulnerable to disability because they live and work in unsafe environment. So in place where they live and where they actually work, that particular environment is not safe for living, and also they have poor sanitization. They don't have good living conditions. They usually have little access to education, safe drinking water, and proper nutrition. Now the people don't eat proper nutritious food because they are poor. They don't have good education. That means they are not aware about how to live, what all things can be done if they are living in this kind of a situation. They don't even have safe or clean drinking water, which might again make a lot of problems for their living. Owing to these conditions, they may fall prey to such diseases that lead them towards disability. Many babies may be born with disabilities. This may be because they did not get enough nutrition during gestation. So now this is what we need to understand, that if the individual are having all these kind of problems for their lifetime, so their babies are also going to have some disabilities or problems from the birth itself. The third point is the mental health problems. Now, the mental health problems such as depression, bipolar disorder, etc., may be led to disability. Now, depression is thing which you already might be knowing, in which an individual does not feel good, does not feel secure. Bipolar disorder is kind of a mood swing in which an individual might be depressed for some time or and might feel happy after some time. So it is kind of a mood swing problem, and these things may also lead to disability. As a matter of fact, that causes of mental health problems are very difficult to diagnose, and these things are very, it is a problem for people to diagnose these things. That is why they might, when they get actually very severe, that then it actually get into or develop into a disability, and because they are misunderstood or not diagnosed properly, it lead to a problem. The fourth one is your accidents. Nowadays, life is so fast that accident may occur anywhere, anytime, and to anyone. These accidents may happen at workplace, on the roads, or in the air. These accidents may lead to disability. Now, we all understand what accidents are. It might be a road accident, it might be because of a vehicle, it might be because of anything, and it might happen anywhere, at any time, to anyone. So, we don't have any kind of stoppage to it. So because of these accidents also, there might be problems with the individual's working conditions. Now the homework. Question number 1 is define disability. Question number 2 is what do you understand by cognitive disability? And question number 3 is explain intellectual disability. The lecture is over here. Thank you.